Hello and welcome to How to Utilize Social Media. I'm your host, Star, and this project is funded under a grant contract with the state of Tennessee. Thank you, Sweet Home, Tennessee. We have a lot to cover, so let's go ahead and get started. In today's session on how to utilize social media for beginners, we're going to use the education global site right here. So it's edu.gcfglobal.org. And let's go ahead and start diving into this interactive homepage. So before we dive into all this, let's begin with Facebook. Now, I'm going to go ahead and these are all tutorials and why redo the work when it's already handed to us, right? So again, this is an educational website, global educational website, and all these are interactive tutorials to the social media platforms out there. So let's begin with Facebook, right? So this is Facebook, and we are going to learn how to create, use, and maintain a Facebook page, and including understanding what it is. So if I click on Facebook, as you can see here, we are guided to the getting started process. Now let's begin with the definition of Facebook. Facebook is the most popular platform for sharing multiple types of content with your prospects, followers. So information from photos to links to polls, you can create numerous types of engaging information with your audience. And now keep in mind, these are all hyperlinks. So if we want to learn what is Facebook, right? We just go ahead and click on it. And as you can see, we're provided with an in-depth definition on what is social media, who created it, and how many followers it currently has worldwide. That's an astonishing number, and it continues to grow as we speak here. Now, and of course, as you drill further, here is why it would be wise to use social media as far as Facebook as your primary platform. And of course, because it's worldwide utilized. So if you're doing your business, Facebook would be one of the platforms the focal integration should be put on. Now, how does Facebook sharing works? Once again, here we're provided as far as once you set up your Facebook account, you'll be able to update your postings, whether you want them to be publicly posted, which if it's for business and not for personal interaction reasons, you would want it to be publicly shared. And then of course, all the way at the bottom, once we've read all this, keep in mind anything in blue is also a hyperlink. So if we wanted to read the Facebook privacy, or if we wanted to learn more about adjusting our Facebook privacy settings, we just go ahead and click on that. And what's happened is this, it takes us to the introduction of adjusting our settings right here, Facebook, adjusting your privacy settings. And then here we have a video of the process on how you can go about changing your Facebook settings. And then below that is also further content information along with the shortcut to getting to your privacy center. So here is your privacy center. You click on that question mark and it's under the privacy checkup. And so from here, this is where you can manage who gets to see your posts, who you want to block, and so forth. And it goes on and on and on. Now, keep in mind, this is just a guide walkthrough on how you would change your privacy settings, right? So not only do we have a video of that process, but there's also a step-by-step walkthrough on how do we do that. Step 1, click on the drop down arrow. And then step 2, we select our settings. We can see that here. Step 2 settings will appear. And then within the settings, you're going to see privacy. And then this is where you can manage your privacy settings and tools, whether you want them to be seen by friends only, or everyone. So that is where you can manage all that. Now, this is also the audience capture feature. So, and here's your timeline and tagging settings. So if we're not familiar on how to tag and what that really means. So here we see a tag is a way to identify people, right? So we're just tagging people to quickly identify who said what, who shared what, right? And if we continue, we see the activity logs and so forth. And now let's dive back to the tutorial. So that gives us back to the back to the main page. So let's get back to the main page here. So that was Facebook, right? And like I mentioned, this is a tutorial. We just clicked on what is and getting started. But if we wanted to understand how to use Facebook and how do we share on Facebook or how do we chat on Facebook, these are all accessible here. If we click on sharing on Facebook, once again, we're presented with the step-by-step process on how do we go about doing that sharing. So step 1, you type your status update, you publish your news feed, you select your audience, and so forth. Let's go back. All right, so that was Facebook. Now, another platform is Instagram. That's up in the most utilized platforms out there. So let's take a look at Instagram here. Instagram is a popular platform for taking a visual approach to your marketing. So this platform focuses solely on sharing photos and videos to provide followers with insights into your company's products and services. Okay, so this is how we can go about learning and exploring Instagram and sharing video on Instagram. Keep in mind, these are all hyperlinks. So all the work has been done. We're just pretty much coming to this global educational website, and we're using this tutorial. We can go at our own pace and become a pro at engaging in today's social media. Now, the next social media interaction is Twitter. Let's take a look at Twitter. Twitter is right here, as you can see, among other ones. Now, with Twitter, it is a popular platform for sharing short blurbs about your company online. So like Facebook, you can post contents like photos, videos, and polls to engage, and you can get familiar with your, with the brands that you're interacting with or tweeting with. Getting here, so you create an account. All these are free to get started, setting up your account. You have to sign up, create an account for these platforms to utilize them. So here we learn how do we tweet. So once again, here's a short video on how do we tweet, but then once again, we're guided through the process on how do we post a tweet. So to post a tweet, you can select new tweet button, and then you choose the image you want and any comment, and then tweet that. And so that's how that works. Now, keep in mind, with Twitter as well, like I mentioned, if we hit continue all the way at the bottom, it takes us to the next subject, which is lesson 4 in this case on Twitter. And so now we're learning about hashtagging. excuse me, and what is hashtag and symbol of it, along with a mini video, as you can see here, on how you hashtag. And then once again, here we have a step-by-step guide on how to use the hashtags through your Twitter account. Okay. And then if we go all the way to the bottom, oh, another great thing about this global educational website is that at the end of each lesson, you're provided with a quick, nice little question practice to help us retain that information. Particularly if you're new to the social media and you want to get a better understanding of the new lingos out there, the practice quizzes are really good, right? So this question says, what is the following symbol used to begin a hashtag on Twitter? Okay, well, so if we think about it, a hashtag is this number, right? Hashtag. So it would be this. And if we click on that and hit submit, yay, we get an immediate response. That's great job. So we had that correct, right? Of course, if we had chose the wrong, well, wrong is not an appropriate word. If we chose a different option, not knowing, then of course we'll be provided with the correct answer. Okay, so we'll know what it ought to be. And then it continues on to lesson 5 here, following and connecting on Twitter. And once again, there's a video on how to go about following and connecting on Twitter. And at the bottom, it walks us through the step-by-step on finding people to follow through Twitter, because that's how the brand grows, is based on followers. And you can unfollow people or companies, or you can start conversations. And we can see the step here, the guides. You can start a private message through Twitter. So you can send a private message here. Now, remember, to anyone who follows you, right? So unlike regular tweets, private messages are not limited. So with the public tweets, they are limited to 280 characters, where the private tweets for Twitter, there is no limit to that, which is nice, right? If you're sending a private message to someone that involves more than 280 characters. All right, now if we continue, of course, we're still at Twitter. This takes us on to lesson 6, customizing your Twitter profile, privacy settings, and so forth. And once again, here's the video along with the step-by-step guide through one, step-by-step. So let's go back and discover more information about the other platforms out there. Let's dive into Pinterest. Pinterest is another hot platform that's utilized. So Pinterest is another visual social media, essentially. It is, and it allows you to share photos, videos, and GIFs with your audience. So this platform allows you to create boards of contents and organize them to provide your audience with seamless experience. And once again, what is Pinterest? Creating a Pinterest account, common Pinterest terms, navigating around Pinterest. Keep in mind, these are all hyperlinks. So anything that we're wanting to learn about, we just go ahead and click on that hyperlink and we're directly provided to that field. And here we have lesson 5. We're in the Pinterest platform, creating a board. Once again, this is how do we go about creating a board? To create a new board, you just go to your profile and create a board. And from here, this is the information that would entail you to fill in, right? Creating your board. And adding pins to the board. Here's a video on how you can go about doing that. And if you scroll down, here's how do we go about pinning items to our account for easy browsing. And here's other ways to add pins. There's so much more. This free social media global site is filled with wealth of information. Now, moving back, let's also dive into LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is, well, if we want to know more about what is LinkedIn, here it is. But if you're looking to make a professional connections, LinkedIn is the platform for you. This platform enables you to connect with industry leaders and business to share helpful information about your company, right? So it's really professional platform engagement. But this is how do we go about learning what LinkedIn is and how you can join groups. And there's that video how you can search for jobs, since this is a professional network platform. Creating an account. All these platforms require setting up an account. Setting up an account is free of charge, but you do have to sign up to utilize these accounts. And here we can see how do we create a LinkedIn account video, along with getting started with LinkedIn. And it gives us a quick review of syncing email contacts and other information, because when we think about LinkedIn, we're really thinking professional network. So we would upload our potential hobbies, activities, our resume, right? Our contribution to society and whatnot. So you want to, I guess, present the qualities and skills in education references and whatnot. That's all LinkedIn based, because once again, it's network professional platform. And if we continue here, here's common LinkedIn terms. It's profile, recruiter. Once again, we're talking about jobs, connections, because you want to establish connections. And the more connections you have, the more likely you can diversify yourself as far as in the working field industry. Here are some recommendations, right, to strengthen your profile in LinkedIn, because again, you are selling yourself, right, your credentials and what you have to offer. And so you want to start with a picture that is a picture of you, particularly LinkedIn. Where in Facebook, because it's more friendly, interactive, you can do a profile of really anything you choose. But with LinkedIn, it would be recommended to use a photo of you and to provide a short paragraph about your skills and strengths. And here you can get endorsed by others and whatnot. And here's navigating through LinkedIn. All right, let's go back to our main page here and let's visit YouTube. All right, so YouTube is another hotcake platform in the social media. YouTube, there's YouTube. So YouTube is a video-based platform, and it is an excellent place for you to share your helpful content with your audience. Contents from how-to videos to informative videos. You can also provide your prospects with knowledge they are actively possibly seeking. You can also use any combination of these platforms that we've discussed so far to help you engage with prospects. Generally, you want to stick to platforms where your audience engages the most so you can reach them more effectively. You don't want to fall into the trap of signing up into all these social media platforms and then becoming overwhelmed, right? We want to see first where our audience mostly engage, and then we can focus on those particular social medias so we can use them effectively. And here's getting to know your YouTube channel, recording your own videos, uploading your videos and sharing them, editing your videos on YouTube, some extras as far as common troubleshooting, YouTube uploading, particularly some potential, let's see, look at them, potential problems. So here it tells you some things you might encounter, that it's slow or choppy or error message. Here we see we have 6 solutions provided to us, right? Keep in mind, we are still talking about the YouTube platform. So this is just few troubleshooting common problems for YouTube platform. No sound from the video here, and you can just continue on along. Now, let's go back. And so from here, as you can see, we still have Meetup. We haven't covered, right? We have Skype, we have Snapchat, we have WordPress, we have WhatsApp, we have Zoom, which I'm currently utilizing to record the session. These are all some of the social media that allows you to stay in touch with your friends and family and promote your causes, or just to keep up with news that are essentials to day-to-day life, right? Blogging. So if we want to learn about blogging, that's another hot topic field, is blogging platform. And keep in mind, with the online social media, you can make a living learning how to handle these platforms. So technology is great. And technology is a tool, just like with anything, like a hammer is a tool, to build a home, just as you would use the computer or the social media as tools to engage and interact in a positive manner, right? In a more impactful manner. So it is a choice that we choose as soon as we log in to the online platform, as to how do we engage and interact with the industry. All right, so bloggers, what is Tumblr? Here we get to learn more about Tumblr and some of the basics tutorials. Now, keep in mind, everything that I've mentioned so far is free, including Tumblr. And you do have to sign up, which means we have to set up an account in order to utilize these features. So what that means essentially is that we want to it's vitally important to get to know the basics of all the social media before we begin utilizing them. So once again, this GFC Learning free global website is a great source. And now that we've covered the tutorials of the majority of these platforms, and keep in mind, you can always come here and go at your own pace. Now, let's dive into some tips to help you launch successful social media strategies. So remember, all these are social medias. And so when you choose the platform that is best for you, because you do not want to sign up for all these social media platforms, that's going to be extremely overwhelming. So you want to best narrow down the social media platform that will be um, that will be best used to build a presence of you and what you're seeking, right? But just because there are dozens of platforms available doesn't mean, we want to target audience on every channel, because that's, once again, a trap to stress, and we certainly want to avoid it. So you don't need to build a presence on every social media platform, but you do need to create a presence on social media sites, particularly the ones that are widely utilized, like I mentioned with Facebook. So if we click on Facebook here, once again, there are more than 1 billion users worldwide. So what that means is that instead of spreading your business thin on variety of platforms, spend most of your time focusing on the platform that your prospects will, frequently visit, right? Because that would be the most strategic approach. So to find the right sites, perhaps you can look at your target audience. You want to determine the characteristics of the age, the gender, location, the occupation, income. These particular characteristics determine whether your prospects spend their time and try to reach them where they are likely to be engaged. Now, keep in mind also that it's important to keep a consistent brand image across the platform. So if you're building a presence, say on multiple social media platforms, you want to ensure that you have a consistent brand image across the board. So whether people find you on Twitter, for instance, or Facebook, you want them to identify your brand easily. Now, building a consistent brand image means we want to make sure that your logo is on your profile. So let's see here, creating up. So here's setting up the account. Let's exploring Facebook. Okay, so here is a profile of an individual. So your logo as your profile photo. As we can see, this person's profile, actually right here, Alona is the name. That's the profile. That's the image. So you want to use his logo as your profile photo. You want to have a consistent banner photo where it's applicable. You want to share images and videos that have the same style. And it's important to use the same tone in all your social media posts. Another tip is to post contents often. So that means posting content is one of the most important aspects of social media. People follow their friends, family, and other businesses on social media. So they are seeing posts from hundreds and thousands of other users, which can cause your business to get lost in the mix. So you want to ensure that your users can see your content. Post content often. Post content often essentially creates more opportunities for you and for people to come across your content in their social media feed. Now, you can use social media calendar also to help you post content frequently. So reminders, the calendar will help you organize when you're posting contents to ensure you post them as often as needed or consistently. It also will help you identify a gap in your calendar where you may not have any social media posts. So calendar scheduling management for your social media strategy would not be a bad idea. Another tip we want to ensure is monitoring your social media. So the last part of the social media that we've just covered, as far as the contents and often of the post and so forth, when you launch, say, one of your platforms, you want to ensure that it's going to be successful or engaging or driven to connect to the people, because perhaps we're not seeking to set up a platform, social media for business, but more for connection with other this long distance friends and family. That's a great way to keep the connection. But by monitoring your social media, you can discover what posts or ads you're working for your business. Essentially, when it comes to managing it through your calendar, you can track these key metrics like the clicks or the click-through rates, engagements, the conversations. And these would be tools that we'll certainly cover in the next session class, because this is the basic. And so the advanced will dive into some tools that allows you to incorporate all these tracking metrics. Okay, now, let's dive back into the beginning and just to do a quick review here. All right, so here is our educational free global website. And if we're learning about Facebook for our iPhone, we're just going to go ahead and click on the tutorial. And if you do create an account for the GCF global website, the website will save your progress as you work through these tutorials, because there are numerous tutorials for each platform social media out there, right? But so here it walks you through from how to go about downloading the Facebook on your iPhone, because this is for iPhone specifically. And that's a video on how you can go about doing that. If we click continue, it walks us through the next step, which is creating our Facebook account. And from here, we will dive into navigating through the Facebook app. And we've pretty much covered the basics where we can begin interacting and engaging with friends and family, or maybe the public if we're doing this for small business reasonings. Based on your connection wherever you are, what it's doing right now is loading. So pardon me here while that's loading through, or we can just dive back into our main page and revisit other social media walkthroughs. One moment while this page loads up here, there must be some updates loading in the background. All right, here we are. So we did cover briefly the blogs, Facebook for iPhone, Instagram, LinkedIn, Meetup. So Meetup is, we'll go ahead and click on it here. So it's obviously a social media platform, but it allows you to join groups, and you can set up groups and have conversations, and that way everybody is on the same page. You can use it for organizing group group meetings or group activities. And what's nice about it is that you can use it offline, so you don't have to have internet connection to conversate and to meet up. But it is a great resource for meeting new people, getting involved in your community, and just being more interactive. Here it tells us who runs a meetup, mainly organizers or anyone really that's looking. Organizers would be mainly the person that's going to set up the team. So that would be the organizer. Here it tells us what types of meetup groups we can create. So here we can create languages and cultures groups for music, for games, for films, for books, dance, arts, and so forth. That is Meetup. And once again, we're taken into lesson 2 to get started with Meetup. And it walks us through creating a account from signing up to getting engaged. So here to pick in your interest, what you're learning, as far as what you want to get involved in this group about, to narrowing down your profile and so forth, and then using the home page once your profile is set up. So here the profile for Meetup is set up, and we can see this person's profile right here. And here is some meetings that have been established. Here's a meeting that's been set up, fun stuff to do, and some free presentation. And you can, in the group, we can see who's going. One is going, one is going. So what's nice about the group, when it's a organized by an organizer, and that organizer selects those particular team in the group, you have an idea who's coming and who's not, which is pretty neat, right? All right, let's go back to the main page here and see what other platforms we have not viewed. So we did cover Pinterest, Skype. So Skype, if you have a Windows, Microsoft machine, Windows machine, it is a part of your machine unless you uninstalled it manually. But Microsoft owns, so you should have this in your computer, your Windows computer, PC, Skype. So if we click on Skype and what it is, so it allows you to have conferences and videos, just like meetups and like Zoom and so many other websites out there for online conference video calls. See video calls right here and more. Let's see what else we have not visited here. All right, Snapchat is a well, it's for your phone and allows you to chat with other people, like message. So we're learning about essentially just a application that allows you to message. So free messaging. It's a networking app, and you can download it on your Android or your iPhone. Why use Snapchat? Here it gives us an idea why. So for some people that may not have certain phones, certain images may not come through, right? So here it makes it easier to share silly photos, goofy videos, small moments from your daily life. And as you can see, you can download your images once you've to your photos. That is, that's what that is. That allows you to download it to your photo memories, and it will be saved. Now the Snapchat would have to be installed. Here it tells you how do you install the app, and then using the app. And let's go back to the main page here. And what else we have now visited? Twitter we covered, YouTube we covered, Zoom I'm using right now. Once again, Zoom and Skype and Meetup. Those are conference video recording platforms. Now WordPress, the last one, on this particular GCF Global website, is it's a management content system. So it allows you to create and manage websites, which is great for those that are interested in learning and how to create and manage websites. This is free. More than 70 million websites use WordPress. So it is a widely utilized resource. In here, it tells us what it is. It's a video that gives you a basic overview. Oh, and then here it tells us the process of it. And here we can see getting started. So these are all hyperlinks. Learning WordPress. It takes us to the process of learning how to create and register and configure and all that good stuff. So here we can see all the process. And go back to the main page. And once we've learned about WordPress and we want to dive into the WordPress codex, this also will take us right into it, as you can see here. So for those that didn't know, that option is available to us right here. And then lastly, how to use WordPress. And we are provided with a 40-minute video, so we'll pause that. That video is available to you there if you're wanting to learn how to use WordPress. Okay, and that is our timer for the day. So we'll go ahead and close that out. All right, and we can close this out too in that. And let's head back into our PowerPoint session here and cover a few last things. All right, so today's session has been how to utilize social media, and we have covered essentially the following platforms: the blogging basics, Facebook for iPhone, Instagram, LinkedIn basics, Meetup, Pinterest, Skype, Snapchat, Twitter, WhatsApp, WordPress resource, YouTube, and Zoom. So keep in mind those platforms are available for you, and you can revisit the tour at your own pace. I thank you for being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the future sessions. And don't forget, last reminder, I believe I did not mention it here. There it is. So this is for the East location, East Polk Library. A third Thursday of the month from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. There are free one-on-one sessions. These are your choice of topic. The hours are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, and Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and they are closed on Sunday. Once again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in future sessions. Have a great day.